Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do a product review on the Joolca Hottap V2. I am not sponsored by Joolca. If you'd like to do something with me, please feel free to reach out. It's a great product, but again, this is just something that I purchased to get with my own money. It was not compensated in any way. This is basically what I'm going to call a 4-year review. So I got what they have called the Nomad Kit. You can see over there, there is a sink with, I guess, a drying rack. That also doubles as a carrying case. Everything that they give you in the Nomad Kit packs up into that. You have a 12-volt pump, a power harness for that. You can put that into your 12-volt outlet or a jump box. That works great. So if you do not have what I have, which is city water, well water, where you have a pressurized water source, you can use that to get water. This is the filter end. It's weighted, so you could just throw that in a creek or a pond and you have hot water on demand with that 12-volt pump. So again, like I said, I've had this for, I guess, almost 4 years now, but I've been using it in the setting of a base camp for 3 years. Things look slightly weathered, but for 3 years it sits outside all day, every day. Not bad condition. Now, here is the shower head again. It's slightly weathered, but again, it's been sitting outside for 3 years. One thing to keep in mind, you know, in the winter weather like we are right now, it will freeze. There are water lines that hook into the bottom. You're going to want to unhook those, and then there's a drain valve in the bottom where you can let the water drain out of. It should be fine to sit out then in freezing temperatures. I prefer to just bring it inside if it's raining or if it's going to be freezing. The drain is right under where my finger's at. That is your gas input, your hot water output, and your cold water input. But this is a great item. I will put links in the description for this product. One thing while we're talking about that I'm going to suggest is it takes 2D batteries. Get rechargeable batteries and get an extra set. I'm going to put a link in the description for the batteries that I use and for the little charger. Later on we'll get into the functionality. You want to have an extra set of batteries around. But anyhow, if you're doing camping or a base camp, I would say that this is a must-have. It is a quality product. It works great. Very simple to use. Like I said, you just need a water input, which whether it be city water or well water, any pressurized source. That's the way I have it configured now. We'll go over, I have the water turned on now. Turn this on at the unit. You're gonna hear some clicking and then a thump. The clicking is the igniter. The thump lets you know that you've got gas pressure and good battery voltage. That's your water temperature reading display. Can't see that real great on the cell phone. I'm going to shut this water off real quick, but right now it's been cold down here in eastern Tennessee. We have about a 50-degree water input temperature today. With that water input temperature, like I'm washing dishes, you can see where the settings are at now. There's your actual temperature, the gas setting, and there's your water flow setting. I was shooting for about 110. That's pretty hot. You could see at the sink, we had very good water flow coming out of here with a 50-degree water input temperature and 110-degree output. That's perfect water flow for washing dishes, in my opinion. Now, if you wanted to take a shower today and you wanted it hot, I'm going to call anything hot. Here's your shower head. Again, it's a little weathered, sitting outside for 3 years. But if you want something hot, that's over 104 in my opinion. 104 seems to be what I would consider a pretty perfect target temperature. You're just going to have decreased flow to get to that temperature. I don't know what their intention was as far as water input temperature. I would guess that they were probably looking for 60 to 70 degrees. You know, too cold, it's hard to get it as hot as you'd like, and if it's too hot, it may go into overheat. Now, it will start to give you a temperature warning. I believe it's anything above 120 or 121, and I believe it will shut the gas off to basically shut the unit down. You'll still have water flow, but it will no longer heat. I believe it's just over 130, maybe 131 or so. You probably would not want to run the water that hot for any reason, but that's basically how this works. I'm going to kind of shift into the warranty now. I think the warranty is fantastic. They give you a 2-year warranty on this. One time I left it out. It's probably my fault. I think it dipped into freezing for maybe an hour or two. The unit started to leak some water. I just contacted them online. They said, can you send me a video of where it's leaking from? I just took a quick video with my cell phone. There was some water leaking out of here in the bottom. They sent me a brand new Hottap unit for free with free shipping. You can't ask for much more than that. Now, this recirculation pump over here. Now, like I said, you could throw that in a creek. You could throw that in a pond, any non-pressurized water source. You can also use it as a recirculation pump. So I have this 110-gallon tub. I got this from Tractor Supply. I actually put a link in the description for that too. So this, I guess, is intended probably for farm use for like watering horses or livestock. So I'll fill this guy up and throw some like bath salts in there and make it like a hot tub. Now, normally, if it's not cold out, you can just fill it up with the unit and get a temperature that you want. But if you're going to be in there for a long time, you might want to use the recirculation pump. Well, I used it for too long once. Now, this was probably my fault, but the pump failed due to overheating. You could see like a little bit of distortion here in the body. I contacted them. They requested a couple of photos. They sent me a new pump, and there was also a little bit of distortion on the 12-volt input here. They sent me a new cord 2, no charge, no shipping. So very easy to deal with. They're not putting you through the ringer. I bought it directly through them, so I didn't need any proof of purchase. Like a lot of this stuff, I recommend buying directly from the manufacturer because you're going to get the same price that you probably would through a supplier. I believe this is about $5.49 with free shipping online. Like I said, you get the unit, that sink, the pump, that, some extra hoses, and then the shower head. So if you purchase directly through them, they'll have a record of you buying it through them, so you don't have to prove that you did purchase this item. I am not good at holding on to my receipts, so they'll say, hey, look, we've got you in the system here. But anyhow, my point is, as long as you can, prove that it's not a secondhand item, purchasing it through them directly is the easiest way to have proof of purchase. But no hassles. Actually, another time, it was outside of warranty. It wasn't firing up right. They said, I think it's this pressure regulator here. And again, this stuff's sitting outside. This, I believe, was over 2 years old at the time. They said, we think it's the regulator. I was like, okay, I'll buy a new one. And they're like, look, we'll just replace that under warranty. And they shipped it to me for free. So I'm not saying that you're going to get a ton of free stuff from them, but if you do have a problem, they care about you, the customer. They're standing behind the product, and that's like super important. So that's what I have to say. I would definitely buy this again. I'm going to slip into a little bit of like some quick tips for the functionality of this. It works really well, but every once in a while it just won't light. And from a user standpoint, you'll be like, hey, it's not lighting. I don't understand why it's not lighting. Knowing how it works is really going to benefit you in figuring out how to get it working and how to use it without having problems. So if you hear the clicking and no thump, more than likely you have low battery voltage. So that's why I said keep an extra set of rechargeable batteries on hand, just because I throw them on the charger on a regular basis and just top them off to avoid the problem. But if it's clicking and you don't hear the thump, it's probably that low battery voltage. So throw a new set of batteries in it and normally it will light right off. Every once in a while, you'll have it clicking and not thumping, and it's because you need to prime this hose. Now, they talk about all this stuff on their site, but this is just, like some inside tips that is your gas hose. You might just have to give it a little prime. It could have air in the line because you switched the tank out, or maybe it leaks some pressure off or whatever. I don't know, but you give it a little prime and it'll fire right up. Now, one thing I will say to avoid, I had this problem happen a couple times in the summer. If you have it hooked up like I do to a hose or a freeze-proof spigot or whatever it is, take and shut your water off, okay? I've never had a problem with leaving the gas on. I always leave the gas on. But if you have the water turned on, sometimes, I mean, in a sweltering day in the sun, these lines get soft, and I've had a line blow off before, where whether it be here or even worse, downstream on the hot side. So basically, if it's downstream on the hot side, it thinks that you're using it, and as long as it doesn't go into overheat, it's just, not only do you have water going everywhere, but it's going to be using your propane up too, as long as it doesn't go into overheat. So you could potentially, you know, you could be off hiking somewhere or at work or whatever it might be, and you use up all your gas and there's just water everywhere. So if you're not using it, shut that water off. If you're using it in the context of like a city water line or a well pump. So always shut the water off when you're not using it. I leave the gas on. I don't ever have any problems out of that. But that about wraps it up for this. I'm going to put some links in the description for the Hottap unit, the Nomad V2 Hottap unit, the rechargeable batteries, the charger for that. That charger I'm going to put in there. It actually charges pretty much all batteries. It has 4 slots. It charges D's, C's, triple A's, A's, the whole 9 yards. No 9-volt, but everything else. And then I'll put a link in the description for this tub from Tractor Supply. Like if you're using it in a base camp, that thing is great. I will fill that thing up and take a salt bath on a regular basis. If you're older and you get some aches from doing all this work, you're going to need it. So please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel going. You know, I've been inspired by a lot of YouTube channels out there. A lot of friends and family have been saying, hey, you should start a YouTube channel, but I'm not really a tech guy. But I want to put a couple reviews out on some good products. This is a great product. Like I said, you can find this at Joolca's website. I would suggest getting it directly from them. It's about $5.49 and fantastic for a base camp or overlanding or camping. Take care, guys. See you on the next one.